Hello and welcome to the No Ceilings podcast on the Turtlesmith network. What's been going on, Mr. Vincent?
Oh, nothing much. A whole lot of everything. What's
Okay.
going on with you, Courtney?
Nothing much. I see you got a little haircut.
Yeah, you know how to switch it up, get the waves for the babes.
Okay, looking like I'll be sure.
You couldn't wait. You got your little three chuckles.
You gotta get up for you, girl. You gotta get up for you.
Oh,
Yep, that's what it's looking like. It's looking right.
you showing some age there with that one.
That's all good. It's all good. They know what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. All right, so today we are diving into business structures. All right, so this is step 7 of phase 2.
Okay.
And I think that, a lot of people think that, the business structure aspect is difficult, it's complicated, and a lot of people don't really want to talk about it. But the
Right.
reality is, it is not as complicated as it seems, right?
It's not. It's really not.
No need to panic. We're going to walk through this today with our followers, and hopefully we can provide them with some clarity, right?
Yeah. I think just a little bit of education with business structure goes a long way because I know when I was coming up, it was just not a lot to talk about business structure. Just people just did business. They got paid cash, shade tree style, get your money and go. But
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like building a house. In order to build a house, you need a solid foundation before you can move in. And so I think that what we'll do is we'll just kind of start from the top and start from the bottom and work our way up like a house.
okay, you know how to
Like
build
that.
a
You know
house.
how to
Okay,
build that. Yeah, we're gonna build a
like
house.
we can't start from the top on a house.
Now we got to start from the back. We got a solid foundation. All right. So your business structure is the legal outfit that your business wears. It affects how you're taxed, how much personal risk you take, and how much and how you run your business every single day. And so a lot of times people don't know when you go on the website to apply for a business structure. Some people don't know. I think there are options. There's sole proprietor, there's LLC, there's a C Corp, an S Corp. So the most common one is going to be your LLC, and that stands for Limited Liability Company. And so let's talk about that a little bit. Why are the LLCs the MVP? LLCs are versatile, affordable, and protective, right? So you'll love it because it's easy to set up, it's cheap. It protects your personal stuff like your house or your car. If your business has any legal issues. Have you ever had any issues with a business where you've had to make sure that you were fully protected?
Every business,
Yeah.
really, yeah, honestly. Especially when you're providing services
Yes.
or even selling products.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen with a product or a service. If you're not covered, those people are coming for your head,
Yes.
for sure.
You're absolutely right. And so it protects all of your personal stuff. And it also, LLC also works great if you have a single owner business or if you have a team. LLCs can even choose to be taxed like an S Corp or a C Corp, which can save you money on your taxes. All right?
Yep.
So when you're looking, depending on the type of business that you have, you want to make sure that you're looking at how you want to set up your business structure.
Right.
So wherever you are, that information, you just want to get on their website, read everything. I think that's the hard part. People don't like to read.
Yeah.
Everybody just wants the key to open the door. But you got to be able to really read and figure out what's going to work best for the business or the service that you're going to
You gotta be
providing.
very trustworthy like that too.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do the reading and you want to have somebody else do everything for you, you got to be very, very trustworthy. I would be careful with that.
You know, that's very funny. I actually I was watching a a reality TV buff. I like the Love and Marriage Huntsville. And there was, you don't know. Anyway, Love and Marriage Huntsville.
Okay.
There was a person on there that had a business or that was starting a business, and it looked like they did a copy. And the person that they had working for them did a copy and paste of somebody else's operating agreement or something like that. And I guess they found out on the show, and it wasn't a big thing, but it was a thing. It's like, oh, you copying my stuff?
Yeah.
You know, and so she was like, well, I didn't even know that they did that, you know. But, of course, you had somebody else doing the work for you instead of you looking at it yourself and double-checking and making sure that everything was in line with how you wanted it to be.
Right.
And giving your stamp of approval. You trusted somebody else to do it, so.
I think that's the biggest part about having things done for you is knowing that you do have to validate it.
Yep.
You know, because you want to have, like you said, your stamp of approval on it before you move forward.
And I mean, I think I understand in bigger businesses, you know, you could be a bottleneck, you know what I'm saying? Because everything has to come through you as, you know, for that stamp of approval.
Right.
But at the same time, you know, if the business is small enough in the early stages, if you do that on your own, then as, you know, as you build the business out and you get more people that show that they can be trusted, then, you know, you can allow other people to do that. But I mean, sometimes you have to micromanage every aspect of your business very early on.
Especially when it comes to quality and assurance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I agree. All right, so let's talk about corporations.
Okay.
Corporations sound fancy, but here's the thing, like, unless you're running a big operation, LLCs are usually simpler for smaller businesses. But your S Corp versus your C Corp is going to, you're going to need those for certain situations. They come with more rules and more paperwork.
Yeah, and I think the biggest difference with these corporations is just the tax breaks and the tax laws that fall under each one of those corporations.
Correct.
So you just want to make sure that you're going with the one that's the most beneficial for your business tax-wise.
Yep. And I believe, and don't quote me on this, but I believe that you can make changes if you need to. If your business grows, you can change from an LLC to a corporation.
Right.
If you
Yeah.
need to.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, just depends on what that 1, 5, and 10-year plan looks like. You know. But if you're considering going with a S Corp or C Corp route, you want to team up with an accountant or a lawyer to make sure that it's the right fit, and you go through any conversations that you need to have with them to make sure that you're on point, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
And then you want to, let's talk about nonprofits. You know, nonprofit businesses are businesses with big hearts. You know, nonprofits are great. I love a good profit, but those businesses, they don't want to keep the profits for themselves, right? They use the money to help a cause.
Right.
And I think that that's great. I love that we have people out here that want to do that. And so if that is the business that, you know, somebody is thinking about, there's a lot of different things that you need to know about nonprofits. So you want to make sure that you do your research on nonprofits, you know?
You got a little razzle dazzle going on with those nails there. I was like, it was shining and blinding me in my face.
Bling, bling.
Yeah.
Every time you come around my city, bling, bling.
Yeah. But no, you're definitely right about the nonprofits. And
now, there is a fun fact. You can run a nonprofit and a for-profit business side by side.
I did not know that.
No, there you go. All right.
You're a nut. So another thing that a lot of people do not know is how to set up an LLC. And it sounds like an intimidating process. And it's another thing that you can actually have somebody do for you. You know, they have legitimate businesses that set that up. I think one of them is LegalZoom.
Yes.
They will set up your business, get all the legal what do you call it? Like,
Jargon.
yeah, the certificates and licenses and all of that, and they just package it into one little price, and you just pay them to do pretty much most of the job.
There's another company that I've been seeing too on, I think on YouTube. I think it's called Taylor Brands, Taylor something like that.
Okay.
They do the exact same thing.
Really?
And every time I'm watching a video, those ads pop up all the time. So that's just another tip for anybody that's wanting to do to get everything set up in one swoop and not have to go through their process. But I've never used any of those companies. So please, if you're going to do that, make sure that you are going through all of that stuff with a fine-tooth comb.
Right, definitely. And go over that and know what your industry entails so that you know that you have everything that you need. Trusting someone to do that. However, you can go through and do all that stuff yourself. If you did the research, first thing you want to do when setting up your LLC is visit the Secretary of State. File with the state, submit your LLC paperwork. Is here in Oklahoma is really quick. You can get it same day. I think it's like $125 for the same day, $100, and they will mail it off to you. Really, really easy. It's really quick paperwork to fill out. And you can be walking out with your paperwork that same day.
Is
the articles
$125 for the same day? Okay.
Yep. I know it's not more than $125.
Gotcha.
Yeah, for sure. The next step after you do that, or at the same time, you could be writing up your operating agreement. It's a rule book for your business. It explains how decisions are made, what happens if someone leaves the business, how profits are shared, etc., etc. Operating agreement is going to lay out the law of the business. It's going to tell everything that's happening in that business, where everything goes and how everything goes.
Right.
The next step is to get your EIN. It's like your business social security number. Very simple process as well. You visit irs.com. You file out the paperwork on irs.com, or is it .gov? I'm saying .com is .gov.
The IRS website.
Yeah, the IRS website. They not hard to find. You know, because you're gonna be searching for those refund checks. The same place you go look for those refund checks. The same place you get your EIN for your business.
You want to find them before they find you.
For sure. Other documents you might need. If you have a corporation like an S Corp, C Corp, you're going to have bylaws and shareholder agreements.
Yes.
You're going to have some mandatory things that you have to do. I believe it's quarterly. Don't quote me on that, but I know it's some mandatory things that you have to do to keep that operating as a corporation.
That's it. Yeah.
So make sure you do the research on minutes, bylaws, shareholder agreements, so that you have all that covered. LLCs consider addendums and other operating agreement, and if your business evolves. Did we miss any steps?
No, I really, straight to the point, I really think that we've covered everything. If they want more details, then definitely we encourage you all to go to turtlesmith.com.
Yeah.
To look at the guides that we have on this. But it's really straight to the point, and it's a lot easier than people think that it is.
It really is. I remember the first time I did it, I was like, oh, wow, this was nothing. I was just expecting like a whole thick thing of paperwork to fill out, having to answer a whole bunch of questions that I didn't have the answers to.
Yeah.
It was so easy. I was like, oh, okay. It's almost like doing something illegal.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Are there any success or failure stories that you've had with this particular step?
Successes. I know people that have successfully used third-party companies to set up their business and still operating to this day. It was an easy process for them, and it cost them probably less than $1,000.
Yeah. Okay.
And that was with everything they needed: certificates, licenses, bonds, everything. Like literally everything they actually needed for that business. It was done, and I'm pretty sure that was done with LegalZoom.
That's dope. Yeah. Well, I will say, when I first did this process, I had a business name that I wanted to use. And there was nothing wrong with the business name was a play on a business name that my dad had.
Okay.
And my dad was in the business years before I had gotten into the business. And so when I wanted to use that business name, I filed for it and everything. And come to find out, I couldn't use that name because there was another company that said that my name was too close to their name. And so they had both names had city in it, and it was too close. And so I had to change my business name because it wasn't close to theirs, or so that it wasn't close to theirs. I ended up making a decision to just self-title, and it worked out even better.
Right.
But just also be very careful about, when you're going through, there is on the Secretary of State website, you can go and do research and look at, type in the name that you're wanting to use, if that name is taken, or if it's close to another name. If it's close to another name, they can file documents that say that, you have to make changes to that particular name or whatever. Or something like that. I don't know how they did it, but I could not push that application through. So whatever I had to do to make the changes, I did.
Kind of brings up another point for me. When doing the paperwork for the bakery, we had to trademark the name. You do the same.
Yes.
You file at the Secretary of State for trademarks as well, and it costs a little bit more.
About like $500.
Yeah, I believe it's somewhere around $500 or something like that. But there's classifications for the trademark for industries. So you go in there and mark every industry. That's a whole nother process, probably a whole nother episode. However, when you get your name, you want to go ahead and trademark it too if you plan on staying in business, because someone can come back behind you and trademark that. Send you a cease
and desist.
That one right there. That's send you one of them right there. You didn't pay for all this merchandise. Everything got the name on it.
Yeah. For nothing.
That is a nightmare.
Yes.
That's the one you don't want right there. So just a little fun fact for you.
Yeah.
Get a name. Go ahead and get a trademark. It's going to cost you a few $100s, but it's going to save you thousands.
Well worth it, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And another thing that I realized that I as I was going through and reading through these steps, I didn't do the operating agreement.
Really?
I didn't, because it was, at the time, it was just me.
Yeah.
That was something that actually came later. And
Okay.
so thinking of all of the possibilities, anything that where you see this business being 1, 5, however many years, in that 5th year, how many employees do you have? How many different roles do you have? And laying all of that stuff out so that you can create your operating agreements and all of that.
Right.
What that looks like, because you didn't do it. Who makes the decisions? Me. I make them. I make the decisions. It's me.
Out of Pappy.
And then there was a couple of times when I first started, I was pregnant with my daughter. And when I was almost 10 years in, I was pregnant with my second daughter, and so I got put on bed rest, and so the office had to operate without me.
Yeah.
And so, things like that have to already be in place.
Absolutely.
So,
I agree.
There were things that happened. We did have somebody leave during that time, and I didn't have anything set up because I didn't expect for people to, leave. And it was very, it was a situation where they just had to just leave at the drop of a hat. No bad blood or anything.
Right,
it was personal situations that were going on, but that left a gaping hole in the business, and how we handle things.
Right.
And so you never know what's going to happen. And I'm literally going to the hospital the next day. So I was just like, I don't know, I can't worry about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
so it's stuff like that could definitely happen that you want to already have planned for.
Right.
So
I agree. So I think that covers our business failures and struggles. We'll knock out these action items.
let's do it.
All right. First one, you want to choose and set up your business structure. That's whether it be LLC, S Corp, C Corp, nonprofit, whatever it is, choose it, set it up.
Yep.
Next one, you want to obtain your employer identification number.
Yep.
IRS website, fill out the couple little questions on there.
And I don't know if they still do it, but at one point they send you like a little card through the mail, and it's almost like your Social Security card.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if they still do or not, but
Or
I
you
know.
can print it out or
Yeah,
something.
but I know
Yeah.
as soon as you get done filling that paperwork out, they're going to see that number's going
It
to
pops.
display for you
Yeah.
right there,
Okay.
and they'll send you the paperwork, and you'll have the number, all that stuff. Third one, prepare for your future needs. Stay vigilant for fake letters requesting additional fees after filing. Gather any additional documents for structure might require bylaws, structure holder agreements, all that stuff we said for the S Corp, C Corp,
Yep.
those minutes, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, for the most part, it really is, it's very simple, but you have to go through, I've said this 3 times in this episode, you have to go through everything with a fine-tooth comb. You just want
Yeah.
to make sure that this is a very important piece of the puzzle, and you want
Yeah.
to make sure that you do everything you can to not leave any gaps in this
Right.
piece. So.
Some businesses, such as like stores, like a convenience store or a bar, certain places you're going to have this paperwork displayed where it's visible
Yes,
for inspections and all that stuff. So
that's very true.
you can't pass this if you plan on being on business. You think we skipped anything on action items for today?
No, I think we could. I think that's overall. If there's anything else,
Nope. But picking the right business structure isn't as scary as it sounds. It's all about figuring out what works best for your goals. An LLC is a great starting point for most small businesses. But if you think bigger, talk to a pro. And remember, your business is like your baby. Give it a solid foundation so it can grow into something amazing.
message.
You're stupid. But if you guys have any more questions, comments, concerns, please visit the Turtlesmith website. Leave your comments and concerns below. Until then, we'll see you next time, guys.